Did last year teach you anything about the way you coach now as the generations of kids change? Do you learn more patience? Do you stay coaching the same that you always have?
Well, if you think about it, I think every coach out there now is thinking about, okay, it's a different generation. But I'm not going to lower my standards because of that. Not at all. My thought is that we have to raise the bar. And I think they get it now, but it's really been interesting to see the people that have invested the most, and I can tell you across the board that that I would say that all of our sophomores understand that they can't just step out there, put on the big orange uniform, and win, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Can you compare what it's like preparing for this season to a year ago when you were probably doing a lot more basic teaching with such a young squad?
Well, I think we can make a lot more progress in whatever we're working on because they're familiar with the terminology, they're familiar with the patterns, they understand how we want to play, whether it's in a half-court game, full-court game, both defensively and offensively. So you know, we're certainly way ahead of where we were a year ago at this point in time. And, you know, we've got to get better. But, again, I think for the most part we have in what we need in. We don't need to be adding on more layers. I get a little bit anxious about that. I just think we've got to give them the freedom, you know, to play. And I'm seeing that they are demonstrating the fact that they'll make plays. And again, Strickland has been the one that's, I think, kind of set the tone for here. We're attacking the paint.
Do you want to? I mean, how do you see the style of play for this team? Do you want to run and press maybe more than you did last year? Do you want to be more deliberate going half court? Or
well, I think it's going to depend on the opponent. And we have a certain way we want to play, but if things are not going well for us, if we're not scoring in our early offense, then we have to be more disciplined in the half-court game. And you know, I think we can do both. I mean, that's the one thing that we've worked a lot on is obviously working in our half-court game, and then working in the full-court game. Giving them a little bit more freedom in that half-court game with more just 3 out and 2 in instead of running a lot of set plays. I thought last year, just looking back and breaking it all down, that we probably spent too much time in running different sets as opposed to just playing 3 out, 2 in and letting them work the high-low and make the reads.
You've got some real size on this team, and maybe some of the different combinations you might think about using, and how intrigued you are by the potential there.
Well, the thing that we talked about, Dan, is just the fact that we could go big. We could start with Brianna and go small at the point, or we could go big on the perimeter. And whether that's Strickland or most likely that would be Shakina. And you could go with Angie. You could go with the Tabor or with Alicia. I mean, we've got the size there. And obviously on the inside with Kelly. You know, Glory Johnson, one thing that we're going to definitely look at this year with her is that she defend on the perimeter more and pick up early in the backcourt because I mean, obviously she's one of the best athletes on our team. So to be able to do that would, I think that would allow us to be able to get out and put a lot more pressure, you know, in the full court as well as in the half court.
Pat, you used 12 different starting lineups last year, assuming you're not going to do that again. What do you see there, and how important is it for you to maybe settle on a group and develop a real pecking order in terms of that?
Well, my thought has been at least 8. We need 8 players that understand how we want to play the game and how much they have to invest. The defensive part of the game, I think it's that we've made some progress there, but you know that's an everyday thing. You know, that's all about the hard work. But we may have more than 8. But definitely, if we can get a great rotation with 8, 9 people, 10 people, I think that would allow us, because we would have the depth, to be able to press and run more. So if I'm not mistaken, I think we can do that.